78C recall, the fix is here, well, kind of. Let's break it down. We're going to talk all about it. We're going to give you my opinions, and we're going to show you what to watch for and what to expect. 78C recall, there is a 70-some page document. We're focusing on the first, well, it's actually 68 pages. We're focusing on the first 10, just to give you an idea. So according to this, 124,151 affected vehicles. It says affected of the above vehicles. So this remedy is only available right now for the 2024 Wrangler. The 23 to 25 Grand Cherokee, not available yet. And the 25 Wrangler is not available yet. My understanding is that the previous model Wranglers are not included in this recall. So I would think by now, if your vehicle was included in the recall, that it would show in the NHTSA website, or you'd be able to look it up, but always confirm with your dealer on that. People are checking the apps on their website, on their phone, saying not available or available. Remember, the app does not update in real time. You got to kind of log in or log out. I would use the app as kind of a last resource for whether your vehicle is in the recall and if the fix is available. But right now, it's only available for 2024 Wranglers. Why only the 24? What's the difference between 24 and 25? I don't know, and I'm gonna dig and find out. It doesn't make any sense to me why the 25 Wrangler recall fix is not available and 24 is. It does make a little sense to me that the Grand Cherokee is not available. That is a little bit different system. It makes more sense on how when there's a battery recall that the update follows a little later, because the Grand Cherokee actually has 2 batteries where the Wrangler has 1. But I'm not sure where the difference is in the actual engine per se. But having said that, all of the updates fall under like all of these control modules and the PCMs and the IDCMs and everything else. We'll talk about that in a second. So I'm guessing they do have different modules, maybe because there's different batteries. Don't know why they're not all together. The Grand Cherokee, again, makes more sense that it's not available. Why the 25 is not available, I don't know. So what is the fix? We've talked about this. We're bringing it up again. The fix is a recall flash. And I know what people are saying. Well, recall flash isn't going to fix sand in my motor. You're 100% correct. It is not going to take the sand out of your motor and magically fix it. You're right, it's not. The same way that the 68C recall didn't fix the separator issues in your battery. These both kind of have the same technology or mindset, where the 68C recall, people are saying, I don't want to get my 68C recall done because it caused these issues on the road. Yes, it caused some issues, but the issues were, it was plucking out the Jeeps that had bad batteries. So if you did the 68C recall and you had an issue and you later got a battery, that 68C recall did its job. Some people have the mindset that if the 68C recall, if their Jeep passes this recall, they're in the clear. Not necessarily. It just means you passed for the moment and now it's smart enough and it's looking for this problem. Moving on to the 78C, it's basically going to do the same thing. Now this software is going to, I'm going to say listen, right, to the engine. It's listening. It's looking for potential bearing failure. And we're going to talk a little bit here about how this actually works. And so you're right. It's not taking the sand out of the engine, but now it says, now you've basically got a little person there listening and saying, hey, we got a problem here. Trigger the check engine light before this problem gets worse, and let's get this person a new engine. It's giving the Jeep the mentality to watch out for you, if you will. Now, if you haven't done the 68C recall, you're going to be forced to do it in order to get the 78C recall. You're not allowing the vehicle to update to 78C if you haven't done the 68C. So you're kind of going to get jammed into it. So I have a sneaking suspicion we're going to have people going in for the 78C recall and they got to get the 68C because they've been holding out for whatever reason, and now maybe they need a new battery and a new engine. You're kind of setting yourself up for double the opportunity for some headaches here. So I also hear some people saying, I'm not going to do any of it. For one, I wouldn't be advertising that online for multiple reasons. For two, this is a safety thing, right? So everyone says, well, my Jeep runs great. I haven't had any issues. Mine either. Mine ran great and it failed the 68C and got a new battery. All of the vehicles that had problems, we'll talk about all the vehicles that failed or had a fire. They all ran perfectly until they didn't. So just do yourself the favor, get the recall done. You're gonna get this warranty that is attached to 68C. Unofficially, I'm thinking you're gonna see the same thing on the 78C, and it kind of talks about it here in this documentation a little bit. So we know that 124,000 of the vehicles are affected. Check your VIN, check with your dealer. Again, if you don't have a 24, if you got a 25 or you got a Grand Cherokee, sit tight. Your dealer is not ready for you yet. If you got a 24 Wrangler, it's time to go. So there's an interesting thing here, and I know Chris Hall, you've been paying a lot of attention to this about how the vehicle drives after 68C. Mine has been literally the same. I got a new battery and it's like I'm back to my old Jeep. I've had no issues. We're seeing a lot of people saying that it goes into gas mode more frequently than it did before. There's a lot of different things that we're seeing. I personally have not had that issue, but I do find this interesting. The following modules are not related to the 78C recall remedy, but must be updated with the latest module software available. These module updates are included in this bulletin as they contain software updates for continuous improvement and to enable full functionality of the propulsion system. And it goes in to talk about what modules are updated. So I think it's interesting. Is there more to this than just that 78C looking for the bearing failure? Has Jeep embedded some of these issues we're seeing from 68C and fixing them here? I don't know. I'm making assumptions. We'll find out. And then it actually gives a full list of all the parts that would be replaced if there was a catastrophic failure. It gives all the part numbers for the engine and the turbo and everything else. So let's fast forward to what happens when you bring your Jeep in. Now, I have not brought my Jeep in. You guys know I'm gonna give you a full rundown. I'm gonna walk you through the whole process with the team at Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Those guys are ready for you. They're ready to go. Again, if you got a 24, stay tuned, because don't worry, I'm not going to forget about you 25 JLs, and I'm not going to forget about you Grand Cherokee people. But basically, so what's going to happen is you're going to bring your vehicle in, just like we have before. They're going to update the PCM software. Again, if you haven't done all these other updates, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to update everything else. That Jeep has got to be updated to the most current software before they start this PCM software for the 78C. So just keep that in mind. I don't know how long this software update takes, but if you haven't done the 68C, I would just plan on the dealership having it for the day by the time they schedule it and get it done. Now, after you update this software and they get it into the system, it's the instructions here to say clear all DTCs, which is any trouble codes. So if it were to trigger anything, they're saying clear it all out. And then it says start the engine and place the vehicle in e-save mode. Drive the vehicle until it reaches 80 degrees Celsius, whatever the heck that is in Fahrenheit, because we're down Americans. And then use the shifter manual mode to hold the vehicle in gear and operate at 3,500 RPM. So it wants the vehicle up to temperature, engine up to temperature, and it wants to see 3,500 RPMs for 60 seconds. So maybe you're going at a slow speed and it wants you to drop the transmission down into first or second gear, whatever it takes to get those RPMs up for at least 60 seconds. So my guess now is this is kind of like the drive test of the battery, right? You put the software in, now let's go take it for a drive and see if it detected you had a bad battery. This is kind of the same. We put the software in, let's go take it for a drive and see if we've got a bad engine. So at that point, it says check for a DTC code of P2339. If this code is present, replace the engine. Literally what it says, if code present, replace engine. That simple. Now, if the code isn't present, I look at this as the same way we look at 68C. Everyone's gonna think, yes, I passed. You passed for the moment, and I'm not dismissing like it, but this isn't negative. You passed for the moment. Now you have this software in there that's gonna continue to look. So maybe you passed for the moment, but now down the road, you might throw this code. I guess the good news is, and it reads here, this is what I was talking about earlier, if no DTC code is set, basically complete the recall and you're done. Give the vehicle back to the customer. If the customer returns later with this same DTC code, replace the engine under warranty, with extension XC2. The XC2, if I remember correctly, is basically saying you have an unlimited mile and year warranty based on a failure of this code. Now, again, that's unofficial, but on how that's going to all work. Now, if you show up later and you've got a knocking in your engine and it's not this DTC code and they can determine water is coming in or whatever else, this isn't the smoking gun that you're just going to get a new engine, right? They're only going to replace this engine under warranty based on this code. Now, this is, as we've seen before, so this is 78C recall. By the time 68C recall came around, it had 8 or 9 different revisions, all really small, minor stuff. But one was, if the customer has this code and you don't have an engine in stock, or what I'm saying, battery in stock, the Jeep is supposed to stay at the dealer. That verbiage is not in this recall at the moment. If I was a suspecting person, I don't know that Jeep is going to give you your car back knowing it failed the test before you get an engine. I would highly doubt that you're going to get the Jeep back if you fail this test. I don't know that for a fact. I'm just guessing. And the other thing is we learned in 68C that there were multiple codes that could ultimately lead to a bad battery. It first started out with just 1 or 2 codes that would indicate you earned a new battery. Like right now, there's just 1 code on here saying that you would qualify for a new engine. You know, as they go through this, maybe that will change. I don't know, but these revisions usually happen. They're small, they're not a big deal, but this is going to be the nuts and bolts of what to expect with 78C. Only question I have, and there's nothing here to determine it, is we've seen a similar problem like this before. In the JKs, we saw this, and sand was getting in the cooling system, right? So it wasn't internal of the motor combustion, it wasn't internal of the motor itself. I mean, I guess it was internal, like the cooling water jackets and stuff like that. And then we were getting sludge built up into the heater cores and stuff like that. I don't know that this sand is in the water jackets. Everything I understand is it's all internal, like in the oil area where the oil, washes out. So it will be interesting to see, like, in the future, will we see this like a heater core problem? Will we see other issues arise because of sand in the system that maybe wasn't internal, only in the motor? So guys, that's kind of the process in a nutshell. I will keep you posted. I have mine scheduled for first part of next week. We'll get it in. We'll do a video. We'll run you through the whole thing with the tech there at the dealership, walk you through it. I know there's going to be a lot of questions. I know there's a lot of new people that have recently purchased 4xEs because the prices are low, and we've talked about that in other videos. Welcome. There's a lot of content on our channel about the 4xE, so if this is your first video because this is the most relevant at the time, check out other content. So let us know if you've had your vehicle already done. Let us know if you've seen any adverse effects in the way it drives. Again, remember, this software is now looking for that bearing failure, and hopefully to catch it early. So, and stay tuned. We will have for sure an update on Grand Cherokee as well as 25 Jeep Wrangler when that becomes available. I suspect it will basically be the same process. It's probably a software thing that they have to work through because of different components on the Grand Cherokee. Why on a 25? Guys, if we've got any techs that watch, help me understand what's the difference between a 24 and 25 Wrangler that would require a different flash why is this not included on the Wrangler for 24 and 25? I don't get it. But we'll find out. So like, subscribe. Thanks for being here. We'll see you on the next one.